We're here and it's a Katie day. I don't know, does anybody recognize this person with the perm and the large plastic glasses, which are back in style actually.
Are they? Yeah.
Yes, they are coming back in style.
Yeah,
And I bet a few of our viewers had some glasses like that and a hairstyle like that.
My mom gave that to me.
The perm?
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom giving me a perm.
Did you?
And I was really embarrassed. I remember she made me go next door to the neighbors to show her my hair, and I felt really weird. But anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully she's not watching. I don't think she's watching today.
You never know, though. You never know.
True.
Those were the perm days. Mm-hmm.
They were the perm days.
The home perms. And they smelled so wonderful.
Today is a Katie day.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
So Katie's here today. Do we have the same shirt on?
We do.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I don't know if I can show it. I have no idea if this shows us, but we have the same shirts on.
Favorite color is red.
I wish I would have worn mine yesterday. I felt kind of out of it for Valentine's Day.
But you did have a splash of color.
I heard I did.
Day.
So.
Yeah. So you guys all looked fun yesterday. Yesterday was fun.
Well,
for you guys.
happy February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. And I want to thank all of our viewers for all the love you showed us yesterday. Yeah. We had a lot of orders with the Valentine's sale.
And that we are showing to day 2. Oh,
I'm sorry, Katie. I'm reading comments now. All right, Donna's putting her coffee down. She's ready for a Katie day.
I've already lost my coffee.
Everybody's ready for a Katie day.
Yay! Well, I hope I meet your expectations. I'm not that interesting.
You do. A lot of people are talking about their perms.
Oh yes,
they're remembering
the perms.
Their perms.
Yeah, that home perm
that you did.
You
at
didn't
home.
wash it for like 3 days because you didn't want that curl to loosen at all.
That's right.
Yeah, that smell. Yeah.
So yesterday was the 14th, Valentine's Day, and Katie, we had a customer come in, and across the street from Memory Bound is a large supermarket called Hy-Vee.
Oh yeah.
And they said at 5 o'clock yesterday it was crazy in the cards and the flowers.
Like 5 o'clock at night or in the morning?
5 o'clock at night.
Oh my gosh.
People stopping on their way home from work and having to get that last minute Valentine gift.
I got a text approximately 7:30 yesterday morning from Sam saying, I am learning the hard lesson of trying to buy Valentine flowers on the day
morning
of Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Oh, well, I hope he succeeded.
He did. We got it figured out. We'll say.
Good. Yeah. Good. Okay. So anyhow, we're back to our Things We Love sale, and they're 5-day specials that we're having in February. And starting today, we have a lot. We have some Sizzix dyes.
I can't believe these.
30% off, and I'll just scan through them here. If you go to memorybound.com and you go to shopping, this is at the top, and it'll say Things We Love or Things We Heart sale, Sizzix, and these are 30% off through Sunday.
Gosh, these are really good ones too.
And they're going to just be automatically discounted out there, or if you come in the store, we got a whole rack.
Even I know that it's not Halloween season, but these are such good Halloween dyes to have.
Well, I got the spider web myself this morning.
I have the spider web. I have that one because of the eyeball, and I actually have that one so you could put the eyeball in there.
Oh.
Yep.
Katie figured it all out.
Well, I don't know.
Now on the
that's how it works in my mind.
This is like Vanna now. You can move the wall around.
Yeah, now we're going to go to this side. Let's see.
And we're showing you our dye special that starts today. There's that stretch alphabet. This is a really pretty cutting plate that would do your card fronts. There's lots of Tim Holtz here. There's Sizzix.
I have this one. He was my Halloween name tag. I had
I do recognize
and then just
him.
the arm coming out. Ooh, I like this one too. These are really good, Kelly.
So you can see all of these on sale online if you go to shopping and go right at the top of our shopping page.
These are amazing.
And we actually have the big butterfly.
I'll put my hand so you can see.
I think it's called Perspective.
The Perspective right there.
And the moth. The big. So those are also 30% off.
So is that a moth? And this is a dragonfly.
Oh.
Is this a butterfly?
I don't know. See what it's called. I don't know what it's called.
It's a butterfly.
Oh, that's a butterfly.
And that's a dragonfly.
Are you sure?
No? Yeah? Well,
I don't know.
Is it a moth?
It looks like a dragon.
Oh, it is a moth.
It's a moth that looks like a dragonfly. So it could be either.
Our science is showing.
Well, it does look like a dragonfly, but he's calling it a moth.
Okay.
So Tim can
call it whatever he wants to, right? These are good ones in here, Kelly.
And
so
then today we are, well, let's just walk back here. This is what we're going to be showing you tomorrow. Well,
oh, golly, let's do this first.
I keep getting like interrupted.
That's okay.
I don't know if we told people this was back in stock yesterday, but the Delightful Daisies.
Yes,
I think
this
we
is
did.
one of my favorites. Oh, did you? I can't remember, and I even watched the video.
I think we did, but this was so popular.
I love this. It's sold out like
and
almost
we even
instantaneously.
Have more coming. The 6x6 is still on back order for a little bit, but the
vellum.
12x12 is here, and so are the solids, and we have
Yeah.
one vellum pack left.
And I have some ideas in my head about those.
Katie actually took that home.
I love daisies.
So she'll be
Daisies are
doing
my favorite.
something.
There's one thing you learned about me today.
Oh,
Yes.
one just the beginning of
Just
many.
the beginning of many, yes.
So tomorrow we're going to show you this.
Oh,
Diane
gosh.
is busy checking in the new Simple Stories, and it's not ready to go yet. It will be online today, so if you want to get a sneak peek, you can go out and look at it today online.
So it looks like we have My Story, Wildflower, Flea Market, and this one is like the bomb.
This is the Simple Vintage Life in Bloom.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
Yes.
So we're going to show more about
Yes.
that tomorrow.
Yes, at 10
and
tomorrow.
it'll be online tomorrow.
And
It'll be
how
online today.
exciting that the crop is coming up, Kelly.
I know. We've got extended hours starting Thursday. We're open late on Thursday till 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And Friday we're open 8 to 8, Saturday 8 to 6, and 8 to 5 on Sunday.
Oh, good job, Kelly.
I know, I rattled
That's
that off, didn't I?
It was very impressive.
Okay, well,
Very,
we're
already?
continuing on with Meet
All
the
right.
Staff. Who's Who at Memory Bound. I always say Meet the Staff first because I forget about the Who's Who at Memory Bound.
That's all
And
right, 'cause
today
we'll
is
have
Katie's turn.
Yeah.
So throughout the month, we have been introducing our staff so you could learn a little more about them. That way, if
Don't
you
worry,
come
I'm not
in,
going to go through absolutely everything.
if you come in or if you happen to talk to them on the phone, you'll know a little bit more about them. And Katie, oh my gosh, I forgot all about these.
Yes, wasn't that fun?
I wonder
you
where
go down
mine-
like walking down memory down.
I am.
memory lane
This is
too,
a
aren't
miniature
you?
billboard.
Yeah, that was fun.
And we had billboards around the town of around Des Moines.
Yeah.
And those are Katie's boys.
And we got that as a like a little souvenir thing. And I have pictures I couldn't find of the boys underneath their billboard picture because that's exactly what the billboard
That
looked
was
like.
fun.
That was
That was
a fun
really
time
fun.
because it was fun to go around and find them and people were like, "Oh, I saw your billboard."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
saw
felt
the
like such
boys
a
up in the
star.
sky.
I'm really tall right now. I
Mary,
think I
we
should-
would love for you
Oopsie.
to come to the crop too. Oh, whoops. I actually did. We had an upside down photo.
That's all right.
Katie, I actually did that at my parents' house more than once. My mom had all of her family pictures up in the hallway.
Right.
So I took my sister's picture.
Yes.
And I took it out of the frame, put it upside down, and put it back
Oh,
on the
you
wall.
did?
And it took a while for anybody to notice. So
Or did they notice and just wouldn't want to have to deal with it?
maybe, I don't know.
That would be me.
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
not dealing with it. So, all right. Well, chime in by any means.
If
Kelly.
you have
Would
questions, if you have
or-
questions for
yeah?
Katie or anything about Memory Bound,
Yeah.
let us know and we'll try to answer them the
Yes.
best we can.
Yeah. I'll try to keep this not too long, and I'll try to keep it.
Well, Katie's
Condensed.
not one to talk much, so it's
I will say, Kelly, and I said this to you last night. I don't like talking. I can tell you about the boys. I can tell you about other people. I can tell you about all sorts of things, but I don't like to talk about myself.
well, do you
So it's
think
just kind of uncomfortable.
Do you think you could ring the bell? We have a question.
Oh.
We have a question.
Can I ring?
I
the
wanted to
bell?
I just was trying to take your mind off talking about yourself. Penny, would you see if we have the Sam Pool die that is the torn paper one that and Diane will know what it is.
Okay.
And if we don't have it, if we know when it's coming.
Okay.
All right,
All
we're
right.
checking on a die that somebody
right,
wanted.
perfect.
And PJ says hi from Texas.
Good morning, everybody. Yes.
It is a good morning.
It is.
And it's
so-
only going to get better.
I hope so. So yeah, so hang in there with me today. So I'm Katie, and
Good start.
people have said, "Oh my goodness, Katie, what are you possibly going to share that you haven't shared already?"
On back order.
The die's
Okay.
on back order.
All right. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's
Katie,
okay.
you
That's
were on a
all right.
roll.
No,
okay, the
that's okay.
Torn Pages die from Sam Pool is on back order. It's probably out at maybe 2 to 3 weeks. But if you want it, give us a call and we would be glad to reserve one for you.
All right. So when we talked about this, I thought, "Oh, this is going to be so much fun."
I know. Katie kind of organized it all. So.
Excuse me. This is going to be so much fun, and people are going to learn about each other. And then I was like, "Oh gosh, I got to do it." I had to put my name on the calendar. It was kind of awkward, and then I thought, "What am I going to share?" Because
Because you've already shared so much.
well, that and I don't really collect anything, so I was kind of in a panic that
What?
I don't,
Look at all this stuff.
Well, we'll get there. But I don't collect pottery. I don't collect, figurines. I don't collect art. I don't like Jason. I said I don't collect anything. But then I thought, you know what? I did a scrapbook when I was little, And I said, we need to get my tub of wonderful keepsakes down.
Yeah.
So to go through that, and I started going through that, and I went, oh my gosh, I am going to share, because one, I've always scrapbooked since I was in elementary school.
I'm
so
impressed.
I'm going to show those.
I am impressed about that, Katie.
Thank you. I was too when I remembered it. And then another thing is I've always taken pictures. My dad did photography as a hobby, so we always had cameras.
I didn't know that. See, I've
Oh,
learned
there
something
you go.
already.
Yeah. So we've always had cameras. We've had cameras. My sister had cameras. He even had a dark room in the basement so we could develop our pictures. And that was fun until you opened up the door at the wrong moment, and then that wasn't so fun.
Ruined your
yeah,
dad's.
you ruined my film. So that was not good. But anyway, so I thought, oh my gosh, I can tell my story or my life story through, or who I am through all my scrapbooks.
And that's perfect, Katie. You couldn't get any better than that.
So hang in there with me. And I also am participating a little bit in the Me in 2023.
You are.
I am. So,
I'm
but I did it
impressed.
completely different. I am obsessed with mini books, and I went through and I think I've made between 150 to 200 mini books since I've worked here.
Oh my gosh.
And I just cut cardstock or heavier chipboard, punched some holes, and then the 4x4 pieces. And so me in 2023, and it can't be, I'm 53 and 23.
Oh.
And then I'll flip through this a little bit. I thought I would tell the story about my name and how I was named and how I came to be Katie, because my dad was a huge fan of John Wayne, and he said I was Kathleen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But if it was good enough for John Wayne, then Katie was good enough for my dad, because he would only call me Kathleen, and my mom wanted to call me Kate, but my dad, my grandma had a horse named Kate, and he didn't want me named after a horse. So
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Katie, that is hilarious.
So that is how I got the name Katie. Yeah. And then Shane is my mom's maiden name. So I'm named after my mom and my grandma.
That's
And then
really
those
neat.
are my boys. And so Jack and Jason and Sam. And I'll talk about them as we go on. But anyways, when I first went through my keepsakes, I came across one of these.
Oh my gosh.
And Janine said, oh my gosh, I had one of these. Those are like from the olden days. And I'm like, oh, ouch.
At least you're younger.
But,
you
yeah.
are younger than Janine, so you can feel good
there
about
we go.
that.
Thank you. And I like how you remind me of that. So then what it is that you're supposed to put your photo here and your report cards or whatever their keepsakes. I have report cards in there, and then your class or your school photo. And this is me, and my mom tried so hard, bless her heart, right? I have stitches. This is my kindergarten picture. I have stitches under my nose. She put me in a pink dress with lace, and by the end of the day, I just remember the lace was torn off the
Hanging
bottom.
off.
It was hanging off the bottom because of recess, and I wore red sneakers because red was my favorite color, so, or still is, I should say. And then it went on, and then as I was able to take it over, I would go back and I would fill out the classes, and then
Katie, a lot of people said they had one of these
Did
books.
they?
I never had a book like this.
yeah, it was fun, and then I took it over. But get a kick out of this. So when you grow up, girls could be a mom, a nurse, a school teacher, an airline hostess, a model, or a secretary.
And boys could be a fireman, a policeman, a cowboy.
Yeah, astronaut,
Baseball.
soldier, or a baseball player.
Oh,
Isn't that
geez.
funny? That's so 70s, isn't it? But through the book, you'll see that I've always wanted to be a school teacher or a mom. Those are the ones. And then I have to give a shout out to my mother, who, that's not that one, but we went through kind of a phase here where we put a nice piece of ribbon around my collar on school days.
I remember when those were in
Did you
style.
put a ribbon around yours?
Well, I don't know
collar?
about picture days, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it was a nice little addition, and I think we have that ribbon, and that's over here. You can see that I have a nice little ribbon around my collar, and I think this
And it
is
looked,
actually
and
a matching.
Katie found the ribbon here at Memory Bound.
So if you feel like you want to do that, I think about 2 feet will do it for you. You might want to do a yard, so you have some extra. But yes, the perm, the glasses, before braces. So yeah, that's a fun picture.
That
And the
is
boys
fun.
looked at it and were like, "Oh my gosh, Mom!" I said, "I know."
Well, we were talking about perms, so I cannot believe how many people have this book.
Do
I've
they
never
really?
seen it.
You have it?
No, I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like that. But
And
a
I
lot
don't
of
know
people
who
have
wrote
one.
this. If the teacher wrote that, so when we got them, because it doesn't look like my mom's.
Do you think you
handwriting.
got it at school?
I don't know, and I don't know if my mom knows where I got it either. But I did go through all the way through and listed it all out.
Oh, does it go through your senior year?
Yeah, this is I go, hey,
gosh.
Jack, this is what I look like at your age. Remember the curls?
Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then my senior year. We moved to Ankeny when I was 2, and we were only going to stay 2 to 4 years, and then we were going to move. Well, that was 50 years ago, and my parents are still here. So
they're still here, and they live right behind Memory Bound.
Just walking distance, right out there. If I went
you
straight
out
out
the
that
back door,
right
and
up to my parents'
go into
house.
their driveway.
Excuse me. So then, as I was looking through, I found this scrapbook. Did anybody have any of these?
No, but Janet said the school gave out those. They
Oh,
either
okay.
gave them out or sold them, she said.
Okay, so that's probably exactly where we got it. So I had gone through and I put
Look at
in
Katie's dinosaur book.
Yes, there's all sorts of goodies in here, Kelly. But I went through and I put all my projects in here, and unfortunately, I used rubber cement or I used tape. So I need to. So Janet, what would you suggest to do with this?
Okay.
Well, this I'm kind of concerned about because I asked, do you think it's weird to kiss your sister? I'm not quite sure.
Katie, I am a girl. My best friend is Barbie.
Her name was Barbie.
My second best friend is Renee.
Uh-huh. Yep.
My three-end best friend is Heather.
My 3-end, not my third. My 3-end.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
so it's
Katie,
kind of
that's
like, why in the world would I say
Such a treasure.
that?
Oh my gosh, I think it's a treasure.
And this is where you got to go the day to your parents' job. And so I went to, my dad owned the International Harvester here, and so I went to see him, and took me to his, what they call it, dealership.
And then you had to write a report
Then we
about
had
it.
to write a report, yes, all about that. But gosh, I was looking and he said he worked like 45 hours a week. I was like, oh my word, Dad. No, it was longer than that.
54.
54 hours, yeah. I was reading upside down. But as you can see, I scrapbook then and put all sorts of things down, and then I would put, take the picture and then make lists behind of who was in the picture. And it was, before its time, because it actually was like this, and you could
She
slide
made a
this
pocket.
out.
She
I
made
made
a
a pocket. Who knew? But so that was, and then I thought,
That is a treasure, Katie.
Isn't
it
it
really
though?
is. Oh my gosh.
then I found this scrapbook.
That's a scrapbook?
It is. It's of my hamster.
Oh, is Dolly's your
Dolly
hamster?
was my hamster, yes. And then this is probably needs to be replaced. But I have some nice construction paper, and I was
Fancy
dabbling
lettering
in
there.
calligraphy.
Dabbling.
Yes. It had real ink. The ink and
Oh,
quill.
yes, yeah.
My mom was doing that. She did lots of arts and crafts.
Katie's mom is very crafty. She does a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
So this is about Dolly, and I even have the contract I had to sign, and I was reading through it, and I think it's hilarious because it says I cannot return this livestock. And she was considered livestock. Everything that you would buy at this pet store was livestock, which I thought was kind of funny because I don't think of a hamster as livestock. Then I would tell some stories about her. She cost $6.99, and look at her first nibbles on a piece of paper. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, Katie, this is precious.
Yes, and then she did die, and exactly where she is buried at the house. And my dad was
She's
concerned.
buried on the west side of the house,
facing here.
near the fence. There's a built line in the foundation. She's even with the line.
Yes. And my dad was concerned when they were digging up to do some landscaping that all of a sudden my Dolly was going to pop up.
Katie, this is just hilarious. Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
Oh, good. I wasn't
Janet
quite
said
sure.
she would call that an artifact and leave it as it is.
Okay, just this. I
Yeah.
also did one of my first dog, which was a Basset Hound, and I absolutely loved him. And we did all sorts of adventures together, but I didn't bring his. But it even includes his teeth because he lost his teeth. So I have all of his teeth
you
laid
saved
out. I
it?
saved his teeth, and I also found in my treasures my baby teeth.
Oh,
We had a
my
pillow
gosh.
and a little thing that you'd stick them in,
Yeah.
and my teeth were still in it, which
I had saved our kids and just put them in my jewelry box, but then I
Their
got them
teeth?
all mixed up and I didn't know
You
whose
didn't know
was
whose-
so I think I threw them out.
you could have just divided them. They
Yeah,
would never
they would
know.
never know or care.
All right, so that was elementary, and then I did go on to my
Katie grew up.
I did, and went middle school through Ankeny again. My senior year was in Ankeny, graduated from Ankeny schools. And this we got our senior year. And so you can fill it all out. And this was just the dreamiest thing for me to fill out. I just loved it. But look, I would cut pictures out and tape them.
Gosh.
And this was in 1988. So these are friends.
Way ahead of your time. There's lots of poofy hair.
There is a lot of poofy hair, isn't there? Yes. And then look at here. This is all my tickets and stuff that I went. This is my first lottery ticket, the Iowa State game. We're Iowa State fans. My first concert was Heart.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Drake Relays. We still go to Relays. And then these are just receipts of stuff. And then look at this. I got a D++ in American government. You had to take that home to have your parents sign it. Yeah.
Oh, you had Mr. Ireland.
Yep. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was, it was kind of fun. Then homecoming pictures. And then prom pictures, and Jack went through and was looking at like the prices. Like jeans were $35, albums were $12.95. I can't read this upside down.
Gas was 98 cents. A pizza was $8. Hamburgers 80 cents.
Yeah, can you look at that? Movie tickets were $4. So that was kind of fun. And what will it be in 5 years? It'll just be too expensive. And then we have back here, remember these cards?
Oh, yeah.
That you would get.
Cards.
The senior
and it's
cards.
got little things
little
built
hooks.
into.
Yep, so I put those all in there too. This is my contract to go to Iowa State, because then I went to Iowa State University for my room. And it doesn't have the price on it, but yeah, I know, isn't that funny?
Oh my gosh,
you filled out the top and then you'd rip the bottom off and send that in. So that was my senior year. Then I went to Iowa State and I took lots and lots of pictures, but I decided not to bring those. But at the end of Iowa State, I went to Iowa State for elementary education and reading and speech pathology. I never used speech pathology, but I did obviously use my elementary education and my reading. So my senior year, Jason and I, this is Jason and I. This is when we were seniors in high school. We were really good friends. He actually dated one of my good friends and I dated one of his good friends, so we'd always go on double dates together. But Jason and I didn't start dating until we were seniors at Iowa State. And then graduated and went on to teach at the AEA the Area Education Agency, and I taught down at Meyer Hall, which is a juvenile detention facility place.
Okay.
Safest place. It was locked down.
That's what you told your mom, right?
It was safe. No, it was so safe. And I worked for Gloria's husband.
That is weird, isn't it?
And so I knew of Gloria. I did not know Gloria because I just knew her husband, Bob. But I worked with him for about a year, from summer to summer. And then I got a job in State Center, Iowa, which is in the center of the state. Yes.
Good name.
Yes, and I taught reading there, and I loved it. I loved to teach kids how to read. It was like my dream job. And then I taught 4th grade, and when I was in 4th grade, Jason had been in Kansas City for 3 years, and so we got engaged, and I figured I'm going to have to move down to Kansas City. Well, at that time, he got transferred up to Des Moines, so I said, well, I'll just, apply for jobs in the Des Moines area, and I actually got a job in Ankeny,
which is perfect.
Too far
Thank goodness you did, Katie.
Yes, and so I taught 3rd grade there, and I was there for 10 years. But before I started 3rd grade, this is Jason and I when we got married.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Check
Katie.
out the gloves. Is that fancy?
You look very elegant.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, you look like a model.
Oh,
no,
well, you could be a model. I should go back in that book and mark model.
Really, your hair and everything.
You're
look
so
just like,
nice.
Out of a bride's magazine.
So nice, Kelly.
That's such a pretty dress.
The story, though, is that my dad actually took the pictures and like the candid shots. And our photographer took pictures, but about 60% of the pictures didn't turn out because it was on film and the film got ruined.
Oh,
so I have very few wedding photos, which is fine. But yeah, and I've never scrapbooked our wedding. Yeah, but that was Jason
you have to
and
put
I.
that on your list.
And then I forgot to say, when I taught, this is my first picture
as a teacher.
As a teacher, yes, this is my first official picture.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
that would have been 93 or 94. Yeah.
Katie, they all love your wedding dress.
Oh, thank you. And actually,
seriously,
it's not a wedding dress. It's a bridesmaid's dress. It was just straight. I didn't have a big frilly dress by any means.
I know, but I like that. I think that's really
thanks.
classy.
So, and it was a small wedding. My dad would offer my sister like $2,000 and a stepladder, because you always need a stepladder in the house, so instead of the wedding. And he never offered that to me because he knew that I would say, okay. We would have, Jason and I would have skipped the wedding.
You had a wedding.
Yep, we would have skipped the wedding and said, all right, we'll go to Vegas, that's fine. So we got married in 99, and we were together 7 years, so that's quite a few years we've been together now.
Mary has a question.
Yeah.
She said one of her daughters had Mrs. Belding in kindergarten on the south side of Des Moines.
No, that wasn't me.
She said it wasn't you, but she wondered if it could be your mother-in-law or
nope,
something.
Nope, it wasn't, but I have heard of her before, because Belding is not a very common name, but I would used to have to say that I am married to Mr. Belding, but not from the one from Saved by the Bell.
Oh, that's what you had to tell kids?
Yes. And
Oh
poor
my
Sam,
God.
when he went to middle school, someone's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this kid's last name is Belding. I can't wait to meet Mr. Belding. So, hi, Rhonda. Yeah, so this is something when I left West Marshall, the kids gave me was a journal, and I wasn't sure how to use it, but then I put in all of the kids' cards, their notes,
so nice.
their pictures from West Marshall, and then as I used either a glue stick or rubber cement, and then I flipped it to the first year at Westwood. So this is like all like the
I bet
nice
that's fun
pictures.
to look back
It
on.
is, and to see the kids, and I do kind of wonder what happens to some of them, and some of these letters are a hoot, or the notes are, so.
I bet they are.
Yeah, so that's like a little scrapbook there.
You have
I
been
have
doing
to say,
scrapbooking a long time,
I
Katie.
have. I do have to say, when I taught, I put a lot of my efforts into, or a lot of my creativity into teaching. And when I was at, this is my first year at Westwood here in 3rd grade in Ankeny, and that was supposed to be on a different picture. I don't know, so that shouldn't be there. San Francisco.
So it was not San Francisco.
No,
it was
this was
Ankeny,
Iowa. Yep. You see, I have jelly bellies there. Jelly beans, like red jelly beans, are one of my favorites, and we actually had them at our wedding too, as little containers and gifts to take. Was jelly bellies. While at Westwood, I have to look at my notes here. I met Maggie Benj, who taught 1st grade, and Pat Farron, who also worked here. She was the secretary, and then another gal, her name was Jenny Wirtz, and she was the librarian, and Jenny Wirtz was also a creative memories consultant. And I can't remember exactly how she got a scrapbooking, but she did. And these were my very first pages.
So she got all three of you, all of you guys scrapbooking?
All 3 of us were
my
scrapbooking,
gosh.
yes. And I'm not quite sure how she got us going, but
You weren't like Diane or Dawn and said you didn't have time for that?
oh no, we're like, okay. And we were teaching, and so these are my first scrapbook pages, my very first ones. And we would come to Memory Bound to get stuff for teaching, and then we're like, oh, I could use these on my scrapbook.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here's a lot of people have been talking
Yes.
about the Me and My Big Ideas kids.
And no dates, nothing, no journaling, nothing, but this was our friends Brad and Meredith Temple, and I was so proud of this because you can see that I had cut some wavy pieces
Yes,
of paper
she
back there
did.
for grass, yeah. And then this one tells the story of Jason when he went to buy a bike, and the salesperson suggested that he buy a smaller bike frame. And Jason said, no, I'll be okay. And the guy said, well, why don't you go test it back behind on the trail? And so he did, and he wrecked the bike. He saved the bike. He sacrificed his body. He actually went into a ravine. He rolled down the rocks, but pulled the bike
God.
Yeah. So he walks in, and he's all bloody because he's all scraped up and bloody in this bike. And he just looks at the salesperson and says, yeah, I think I need a smaller size. And he goes, I bought that bike and was out. He was so
And never back
embarrassed.
again.
Yeah. So that's a story about that, which I think is important to tell the stories when you're scrapbooking.
Because you won't remember everything.
You don't. I went through some things and saw some pictures of the boys, and I was like, gosh, I wish I would have written what was going on then. But those are my very first pages of scrapbooking. So then,
I think everyone loves seeing first pages.
yeah. So then, Emily. There was a gal that worked here at the store named Emily, and she also was substituted at Westwood. And so she would tell us about the scrapbook extravaganza that Memory Bound was having at the high school.
Yeah.
So we went, and it was huge, wasn't it, Kelly? I mean, it was huge.
Over the weekend, there was probably about 3,000 people that attended.
Huge. And so we went, Pat, Maggie, and I went, and we went up the steps because we were on the second floor. And I had all of my scrapbook stuff in a nice Xerox box, and I was carrying my box, and Maggie had a crate of things, and she was carrying hers, and we were looking at these girls, and they had the suitcases going chakunk, 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 and I remember Maggie and I got to the top, and we're looking at each other, and Maggie says, oh, we are never going to be like that. We are never going to have suitcases full
now
of
you
stuff.
work here. That's even worse.
Yeah, we have a whole room full of stuff now, so never say never. So that was when I started to actually scrapbook. And this is Sam's first scrapbook, and this is my first scrapbook. So I'm going to move this over a little.
Okay, and Christy, she's asking about Westwood, and it's actually a school here in Ankeny.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's in Ankeny.
It's an elementary school, yeah.
There must be a Westwood in Sloan also.
Okay, yeah, Westwood Elementary.
And Kristen said she loved the extravaganza. So
they were so fun.
If you went to that, you'll have to let us know. They had about, I don't know, maybe 60 classes and cropping and vendors. They were quite fun.
And after that first extravaganza, I was hooked.
That's all it took.
Oh my gosh, that's all it did. And then I wanted to work there. And I was hooked, and I wanted to work at Memory Bound, but I had no idea how I could ever get there.
And you made it, Katie.
I did. It was like
she made the big time.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to tell that story. But this is Sam's first scrapbook in Sesame Street. And I will say one thing you probably don't know is I'm a Jim Henson freak. I love Sesame Street and I love the Muppets. So the boys come by it naturally, and we actually have.
They come by it naturally. It's in their genes.
It is. Their quirky mom got them started. But we also do lots of Legos.
That's what the Lego things are.
Yeah. So Jack's favorite was Kermit. Mine was Miss Piggy, and Jason and Sam loved Animal. And the boys loved them so much that actually Sam was Jim Henson for his famous person.
Oh.
And so we tried to get him, we had to trim this beard up so he didn't look like Moses or Jim Morrison because it was quite long. But he went, and you can see he has his Animal and his Kermit, and he wrote a big report about that too. And I actually have several pages of the whole process. But we did get the paper at Memory Bound and the board at Memory Bound, and this is like brick paper that I purchased here.
Which was perfect.
Yeah. At that time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So they do come by it naturally.
Yeah, they can't help it.
They can't.
Because of their mom.
Exactly, their quirky mom. But I am a huge Muppet fan, and Sesame Street. I've always liked it, and have Lego sets of them because the boys and I do Lego together, so that's something you probably didn't know. And so this is the page of Sam, the day Sam was born, and you can see it has the poem and some Jolies on it. And those are those Frame-Its.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then Sam was born.
Oh, my gosh. Everybody,
I know.
look at the thighs.
Isn't that? And he was a baby. He was born, he was 10-1 when he was born, and he was 23 inches long. So he was like 3 months old when he was born. I always say he came out smoking and said, "Hey, Mom." But on the same day, I am a huge Friends. I love the show Friends. I've seen all of the episodes at least twice. I can quote Friends. If you ever need a friend.
Katie, I didn't know that.
Yeah, really? And
no,
so
I didn't.
I have my little Friends.
So they have Friends Legos?
Yeah, and I have the coffee shop I've done, and I've done the apartment buildings.
So this
is just a coffee shop that we put together, the boys and I did. So this is Jack and hanging out. This is Sam with his man bag. There's Jason.
Man bag.
And then Jack made me with my coffee and shopping bag. My little Starbucks coffee. Yeah. So this is a coffee shop that we... it was a little model, and then we just the boys like to add their own things to them.
Oh my gosh.
But Rachel had her baby the same day I had Sam. on Friends, and I wanted to have my baby before Rachel. That's all. They would come
before
in.
Rachel?
Katie, how are you doing? Well, I'm going to have my baby before Rachel does on TV.
I think
and they're like,
you were a little out of it.
Yeah, I was, and she won. She got her done before I did, yeah. But these are my favorite characters. Joey and Phoebe are my two favorites. And so there's Joey, and then there's Phoebe too.
I didn't know there were Lego people like that.
Yes, well,
That's
of course,
crazy.
there's Lego everything, Kelly.
I guess so.
Yeah. So then you can probably see a lot of the items that I had gotten from Memory Bound when I was doing this. So I was still teaching, and then when Sam was born. And then if Maggie is watching, Pat and Maggie, if they had a blank spot, they would put a sticker on something. And if I had a blank spot, I would put Discover. So Maggie was always giving me a hard time because all my pages had the word Discover
on them.
Yeah, now I can't find a one besides that.
We believe
everything,
you,
yeah, they'll come across it says Discover. And I'm like, what should I put there? And she's like, why don't you put the word Discover? So then Emily told us about a scrapbook you were having at the church, a local church, a crop and then some classes. And so we went there, and I was introduced in a class of using just cardstock. And so there was two teachers there.
Was it Janet?
Well, there was two teachers there, and one I was like trying to get her attention all the time because I wanted to talk to her about my stuff. And so I would raise my hand, and the other teacher would look at me, and then I'd go, like, oh, no, never mind.
Oh my gosh.
And then I finally got the attention. I said, oh, excuse me. I said, Janet, could you help me? And that's how I met Janet. And she came and she helped me make these pages and did these layouts, and she told me they were beautiful.
Oh, Janet, I wonder if you remember these.
Yeah. So hence started my
your cardstock era.
Discover, yes. And so she turned me all on Discover on cardstock. But look at it, remember the little twine stuff?
Yeah.
So
it is definitely a trip down memory lane.
Oh, it is. Cardstock. And then I took another class, and she introduced me to pockets. So that was Janet also of that. And I was hooked. And Emily subbed for me one day. And I was in the building still working, and I came to my classroom, and she said, Katie, Memory Bound is hiring. And I went, really? And she goes, you should apply. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way. They will never hire me.
Jeez.
And she's like, no, you need to apply. So I think Maggie and Pat and I were right here cropping. And I applied, and Kelly came around and said, hey, Katie, can we talk to you real quick? And I was like, oh my gosh, she wants to talk to me. Oh my word. And we went back, and that was when your office was on, the small little office, and we were sitting in there, and Dawn says, Katie, can you tell us, like, what is your favorite product? And I could have said Doodlebug, I could have said, Graphic 45, I could have said anything, and I go, oh, my favorite, I like stickers. And I just remember you both kind of looked at me like, oh, okay. Came back, and I sat down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way I got that. I told him I like stickers. So anyways, a couple of days later, Kelly called me, and she was actually in the dressing room with her daughter, Corey. And you were trying clothes on or something, and said, hey, by the way, we're wondering if you'd like to come to work at Memory Bound. And I was just elated. And this is actually my hire card, I call it.
Oh my gosh.
So you gave that to me, Kelly, and it says I'm going to start July 12th with Tammy. And then I also on the back it said July 17th, and then you had written me that little note, and this was in my, I'd always kept this on my bulletin board that when I got hired at Memory Bound.
That's so sweet. Well, somebody asked the question about how old were your kids when you changed careers?
Well, here you go. Sam was 5.
When you started here?
Yes. So that's,
oh my gosh.
Sam was 5 and Jack was 2. Can you believe that?
So Katie was still teaching.
I was still teaching.
So she was working 2 jobs.
And so this is when Sam was 5 when I started here, and Jack was 2. And now this is, Jack is 17, and you can see he has opposite dark curly hair.
Yes.
And then Sam is, he'll be 21. And when I was starting here 5. So they only know me ever working at Memory Bound, and they only know the girls here as Memory Bound. And they really, I mean, you guys have, you helped me raise these boys. Thank goodness. But it is advice and things. And one thing Kelly did tell me once, and it was like the best thing, was I had come in and I said, oh my gosh, Christmas Eve, the boys are like shaking because they can't wait to open presents Christmas Eve, and it just drives me crazy. And Kelly goes, why don't they open a gift in the morning? Just let them choose a gift and it'll take the edge off. Make sure it's something
take the edge off. I love that.
Make sure they can have something to play with. And I'm like, oh my gosh, well, of course. And so that was the advice I got from Kelly, and it saved my life and the boys'.
Saved your life.
It did. So then this year, Sam was in 1st grade. I was still teaching 3rd grade. Jack was 2. I worked at night here, and Jason said, Katie, something's got to give. Just too much. And I wasn't very happy with teaching at the time, mostly because, and I love to teach, don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved. If I would go back and teach, if I could just teach.
There's a lot of changes.
It is. And I just loved the kids and loved teaching. And but if Sam had, because he went to schools here in Ankeny, but if he would have open house, I had open house. I couldn't go to his open house because I had to be there for teaching.
That would be bad.
Yeah, if he had, like they have a Mother's Day tea, and I always wanted to go to the Mother's Day tea, and I couldn't because I had to teach. And so I was missing things out, and they would switch schools. They had a big kind of tip the apples where everybody went to different schools, and they said it's very important that to parents that you're there, that you talk to them. And so Sam was switching schools and I wasn't there to help him with that transition. So Jason and I talked about it, and he said we made it work. We put it down, pen, pencil, and we said, all right, we can do this. And so then I got to stay home, which I always wanted to do, and keep working
and work at Memory Bound.
Yeah. So it was like
and
my
we're happy
dream.
about that. And
well,
Katie,
you,
there's
Kelly.
a comment from Leanne that says Memory Bound wouldn't be Memory Bound without Katie.
Oh, that's very nice.
So that
but
is
Memory
very
Bound
true.
Wouldn't be Memory Bound without a lot of things and a lot of people. But I'd just like you to see how my card stock continued. Yes. And then this is Jack. And I was able to scrapbook and really do this. And Batman, we are huge movie fans. Jason collects movie memorabilia, movie posters. We're always watching movies. The boys have grown up on movies. They have favorite movies. They compare their lists. Last time Sam was home, he's like, I've made my top 50 movie lists. And
top 50?
Yes.
Oh my
and so
gosh.
the boys went through them. They have posters that they scratch off. They scratch off about movies they want to watch, and they're supposed to watch the top 100 movies. And I noticed the other day that the square, only half of it, and I'm like, why is only half of this? And Jack's like, well, I've watched it, Sam hasn't, so I'm kind of ahead of him now. I'm like, so
well, that's good.
We
good
do.
Things to do
We
as brothers.
watch. This was Vikings. We're huge Vikings fans. So this was opening day. I could not tell who we played, what we were, anything, but that was opening day because do you remember those letters?
Kind of.
Oh, I loved those. I had them in everything. But this is my Vikings jersey that my dad gave me. He had gotten it when you could turn in proof of purchases from Ames toothpaste.
Oh,
and so
to
he
get a
got that
jersey?
one. Yes, my Fran Tarkenton jersey. And as you can see, we're still very huge Vikings fans. This was just taken at the playoffs, about a month ago that we went with the boys. Favorite TV shows, so like Friends, Squid Game, Sex and the City, and 6 Feet Under. But then I thought, well, what am I watching in 2023? So I listed those, and then I talked about binge watching on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, or Peacock. Because I didn't know if we'll still be binge watching.
It might be. I know that's probably not. That's probably going to change, Katie. I bet.
Charlie, something I missed are the boys being little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
can
those
see
are just
that.
some quotes. Things I'm needing. My reading glasses.
Yes, she is.
Documenting. So I use the Simple Stories books. I've always been Simple Stories.
Are those simple? Oh, those are the 6x8.
These are the 6x8s,
binders,
and these are the 12x12s.
So those are We Are Memory Keepers.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And then the snap binders.
Something I always need.
Cherry chapstick.
Yep. My girls. This is a day that only Maggie and I were working. It was a Saturday morning, and all the girls were there.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Favorite color is red, and the things that I use on my desk. I don't like chocolate. Not a chocolate fan, but I love candy. So Conversation Hearts, jelly beans, circus peanuts are my favorite. Another thing I do is read. I'm an avid reader. And so reading and going to bookstores. And one year, this is, oops, my alarm's going off. I'm sorry about that. I used a small 4x4. I really like the 4x4 size. And this is how I just kept all my books in 2018. So the book.
What a good idea.
And then
your review.
And my reviews and my stars and who suggested it for me. So that was one day.
Katie, that's really cool.
But now I flipped to my favorite app, which is Goodreads, because at the end of the year, they print out you can print out all the books you've read and which ones you gave 5 stars or 4 stars to. So I really like this app now too, and keep track of all my reading. I usually read between 30 to 40 books in a year. All right, so Kelly started at Memory Bound, and then shortly after that was my 40th birthday.
Katie had a special birthday.
Yes, and Kelly made this book for me. This was the
I had
start
forgot about that.
Yeah, of taking books apart, but you had the...
we had the imprinting machine, yep.
And so she actually gave this to me, and then I added to it. So it has birthday cards in it, and Kelly put a dictionary page in there, circled birthday. There's pictures. Look at Jill is Diane's daughter, Diane, and Bonnie, and me. We had just gone to Kansas City on a bus trip. So you did that, and you said, Katie, 40 is nothing when you're talking about Copic markers. But you had given me that because Kelly and I went to Minneapolis together and got certified in Copic markers. Kelly and I are both huge Star Wars fans.
Yes, we do like Star Wars.
Yes, and there's Kelly and I way back when.
Yep.
Which was fun to look back and look through and different things that you had put. Yes, we do sell gift cards at Memory Bound, Katie, because I had told somebody we didn't. I don't know. Who knows why? But that started my junk.
That's really fun. I had forgot about that.
Yeah, that was fun. My junk journals. And we did a lot of these. We even did classes with
Katie
them.
had a whole series of classes with junk binders.
Yeah, and I really, really like those. But if you want to, then, let's see, I'm almost done.
Well, no, you're fine, but we do have a question.
Yeah.
Well, they're asking, somebody said, is this a kit? And I think they're talking about me in 23. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, right.
But we do.
You have a kit, yes.
We are doing a me in 23, I guess I'll call it a program that Teresa's designed. And she's come up with prompts, and then there are cut apart cards. And you can go online, and we have a blog post about it, and Teresa's been updating us. She's doing it through the month of February. You could do it all year, and that's kind of what Katie did.
Yeah, just through February.
In her book, Things About Her, because we don't talk about ourselves enough or tell about ourselves.
I did go through a traveler's notebook phase.
Are you still going through that?
Sometimes, every once in a while
I always love these.
And we do have some traveler's notebooks. And so this is what they start out as. And some of these are larger, and sometimes I would use the larger ones, or I just chop them down with my trimmer. But I think these are, $1? Yeah.
Maybe $1.79 or something. And we have the ones from 49 and Market also. They're a little bit bigger.
I went through a listing phase, and I would just make lists of me. So it's kind of like me in 23, but this was just all lists that I had gone through and made favorite books, planners, fears, favorite movies, of course. We always have to state in random order, because if you say that's your number one, then that's your number one.
That sounds like a family thing.
So look at number one, my names of pets I've had. Dolly, my hamster, which I did. We made a full circle.
Yes, we have.
Yes, I have used them for, I did have to mention this. Everybody has said they have cross-stitch. Did you cross-stitch?
I did not cross-stitch.
Yes.
I did embroidery, but not cross-stitching. So Katie's...
That is cross-stitch.
What is it, Katie?
It's the head of a cardinal. I started it, and I got so way off, and the other day they were talking about cross-stitching, and Diane said, oh yeah, when you get off, you have to rip it all out and start over. And I said, you can rip it out? I didn't know. So I stopped because it was so off.
You might need to, well, if you just tell what it is, I think you'll be okay.
It's a cardinal face. Can you see it now?
Kind of.
Okay, there's its eye.
Oh, okay.
And
it's a one-eyed. Where's the beak?
Right here.
Oh, it's sideways. Okay.
Yes, that's the side of his face.
All right. Okay, now it looks like a cardinal.
There.
I can see why you couldn't. Look at it sideways. I was looking at it, straight on.
Okay, yeah, that would be.
But now it does look like a cardinal.
Yeah.
So good job.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. This was one that I did in October, and it was kind of more of like a daily one. And this is, I think, didn't Teresa use the one that had the numbers in it like that?
She did,
yeah.
for Merry Makers, yeah.
So I use it just as a daily one. This is when we did that was Maggie and I.
Oh, that was a great Halloween video.
Was.
I think I shared it this last
Yes,
Halloween.
you did. So it's fun to go back and look at the different things of what was going on and what we were doing. We must have had a lot of weather. My brain has too many tabs open. It's constant.
Yes, we can see that.
I remember Gloria had that hand.
Oh yeah, Gloria had a fake hand.
Fake hand, and it was in her mailbox for the longest time. So you can use traveler's notebooks for all sorts of different things, and I really do like those.
They're fun and they're small, and they're. They want to know how you get your pictures small, like you put in those traveler's notebooks.
Oh, so what I do is I copy them, and then I put them on like I paste them onto an 8.5 by 11 paper
and resize them whatever
and
you want.
Resize it to the tiny size. I just crop it or size it to like 2 inches, and then print
just
them off
cut
the
them
8.5
apart.
by 11.
That's what I do too.
Yeah, so you can make them then any size you want. But that's how I print most of my stuff at home in the sizes that I want. So then I went through this phase, but I want to jump back real quick to here because I used just this.
Oh, to make that, yeah. So if you want to make this little book here,
yeah,
she's got the chipboard for the cover.
Chipboard, and then I used the 4x4.
It's only $1 for a sheet.
And these are $2.99 for 10, and those are the pieces that I use, and then book rings, and that's all I use to make my book. And I thought I would show you for bookkeeping. Let's see here. Must be back here. I was going to add the books that I've read in February.
Oh, okay.
So what I used was the 4x6 pages from Simple Stories, but I sliced that off so I can make it that size.
Oh, and make it smaller, and it fits in your...
so I'll put it right in there. But I thought I would show you with my...
Oh, were you able to cut it with the Caterpillar crop?
Because we were talking a lot about this yesterday.
We were. It's great that you brought it in. We told everybody that you loved it.
Oh, I do love it. And what I like about it is that when you turn it on, it has that light.
Look at the light.
And so I can take this, and I don't know, Kelly, how we can do it this way.
Let me come over here.
All right, so I'm going to line up that edge, and I can see exactly where it's going to be because of the light shines through it. And I just slice it right off.
Boy, that just cut it right.
Yes. It cuts it so nice.
Just sliced it.
Yep. And then that will fit perfectly into my book then. These will go into my book. I wanted to show you with pictures, so I have these pictures of Jack. And then you can you see that shadow? Mm-hmm. And it goes right along, and I can see exactly where I wanted to leave a border. And cut that.
That's handy. So that's the Caterpillar
this is
crop.
The Caterpillar, yeah. So I really
comes
like that.
in a bigger size also. That's actually back ordered until the end of March, but we have the Caterpillar crops in stock, and they have been really popular.
I think I put them right here. There you go. So I do use that a lot.
Cindy says she's reading that book right now, and she wants to know if you liked it.
Which book?
I don't know. Katie has 4 books here.
I liked them all.
Okay, she liked them all, so
I
it's
did.
all good.
I liked them all. All right, so then, Kelly, I went into my phase of Simple Stories. I'm just going to go through that real quick.
That's okay.
And that's my go-to now is the Simple Stories books. I do. And I need to start putting covers on things or finishing the covers. But we do sell them in a rainbow of colors here.
And they just got restocked yesterday.
And we just have, tomorrow we'll show you the 3 new colors of them that are limited edition. But these are my go-to. I've used these for years.
So these are the snap binders.
This was from 2013, so that's how long I've been using them.
Man, it's hard to believe they've been around that long, isn't it?
And this is where I just keep, I do like monthly, weekly documenting. Jim Henson, again.
Oh, there he is.
But the books, movies we've seen, just things going on. Moose, what my old dog was sick.
It's really fun to look back, even at day-to-day things. I did an album like that, And I thought our life was going to be really boring and we never had anything going on, but it really was fun just to look back at.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And Jason traveled a lot when the boys were little, and so he said, so sorry for your loss. He sent me some flowers. I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened?
Did he screw up?
No, he said, I'm so sorry, you have to give back half the bed when I get home.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. So this is just things that we did. Valentine boxes. There's Jack's mustache. We went through a mustache phase with Jack and everyone. Super Bowl. So this is, I do document
Just
in
kind of daily things.
Yeah. You won't find in my scrapbooks, you won't find November or December in them, because in November I so do try someday, Kelly, I will get it done.
We will someday,
We will.
Katie.
But in November, we like to do, or try to do a grateful.
Gratitude or
yes,
grateful?
a great gratitude one. And so this is my 2021, and one day, every day, use something that you are grateful for. And so this is what I started. And this one,
You
Kelly,
got pretty far, though. You got
I
further
got
than I
to
did.
day 16.
That's good. I think I got to
Yeah.
day 8.
Okay, usually I'm about 7, aren't I? But can we count that I had some notes?
She's got notes.
Yeah. And then for Christmas, I always do a December daily. And I
Oh,
have
is this a
yet
December
to.
daily?
It is. But notice I do
dream about
cut-
it.
Yeah. Well, I dream about finishing one. And so this was the one from 2020 that I had made. But I do take the pockets and I cut them. And I also use, these are the 4x6, but they're the 3x4 size, 4x6. So I do cut them to what I need. And it just tells basically things in December that we
Well,
did.
and they're nice
Coffee.
to put out at Christmas time, so
Yeah.
you can relive your previous.
Yeah, and they are fun
Christmases.
because we think, oh my gosh, and this was a kind of a landmark where Jason was tall, Jack was taller, and Sam was the tallest. So we had to document that. And weather. Take a picture, like today, take a picture
Oh, that's
outside.
from one day to the next?
Yep,
Oh
and
my
then the
gosh.
next morning, like tomorrow morning, take a picture because we're supposed to get snow tonight. But those are what I use. And then
they asked how you store your mini albums.
I put them on a bookshelf.
Okay, so they're
Yeah,
all
so
in
they're
a
all
bookshelf.
like this on them, and I put them in color: red, orange, yellow, green.
Okay.
Yep. These smaller ones, I have like locker baskets from long ago.
Okay.
And baskets or crates and stuff, and they're just all around the house that I have these. Around
Well,
the
people
house,
are
just
getting
the
very
little ones.
inspired, Katie.
I hope so, because that's what I wanted to do
You have
too.
shown lots of different scrapbooks.
Well, that you
My
can
gosh.
use them different ways. And then these are the 12 by 12 We Are ones. And these are the colors I've used. They used to have a really pretty grass green one, but they no longer have that
Yeah.
one. Green's Jack's, all are Jack's. Sam's are blue. Jack ran for a team that was orange. Mine are all red, and then the family ones are gray.
So you have grayish, and is that navy
Yes.
or cobalt?
Sorry, cobalt.
Cobalt,
Or
and then
navy.
orange,
and red. Red's my favorite. So I'm going to end with, I think we've covered everything.
Uh-oh,
but I
she's
wanted
pulling
to
something out of
show
from under the
this.
table.
I had not done a 12 by 12 scrapbook for the longest time. So when COVID hit, I was like, oh, I could do a 12 by 12 because I actually have time to do one. So this was us in 2020, and I want to show you how that is when I started to crochet.
Oh, jeez. Oh, do we need another pandemic so you can
Yes.
make one big enough to go around your house
Well, let's just say everybody had a crocheted blanket by December.
by the end of the...
Or
pandemic?
they had a scarf because that's all I could do is crochet
Oh
is
my
straight
gosh.
lines. That's it. So I spent a lot of time crocheting. That was my other thing. And then I wanted to show this page because as I was looking through, Memory Bound is in all of my scrapbooks. But this was where I had put, and this I think wraps up Memory Bound for me. It says, family isn't always blood. It's the people in your life who want to be in theirs. The ones who accept you for who you are, and the ones would do anything to see you smile. And I would say that's definitely the Memory Bound
Yeah,
girls or my
that's
Memory
really
Bound
sweet.
family. Jennifer's daughter and my Jack ran track, and so that's how I got to know her. Kim, I had her kids in 3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
So I was their teacher. But just meeting the people in life, like I think Diane even says, like lifelong friendships, and everybody has. And Maggie, I taught with her, so I've known these girls for a long time, and that is definitely,
oh, that's nice.
You know, wraps up.
And they want to see your layout that you have back there.
Oh gosh, yeah, sorry. I think I covered everything.
She covered everything but this.
Yeah. My favorite apps. So what I did was take the simple stories, and then I cut, because I really like bright colors. So I cut strips and just sewed them on there. And then went through, and in each line, so I know it looks like it's a big blob, but each line has different things in it. So I talked movies, crochet, books, and binging. Friends, I do like to stay at home. I don't like chocolate. I'm definitely a dog person. Coffee in the morning, first thing in the morning, have to have it. I actually get excited at night when I go to bed because I get to have coffee in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Iowa State, we love to play board games. Jim Henson, favorite foods. I could eat breakfast. I love breakfast. I could eat breakfast all day. And then I took this picture and I was like, oh my gosh, Charlie and I have the same hair. And that's a good thing or bad thing.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing
You're
it out.
welcome. And then crafty, and you know, I am a huge napper. Memory bound, and just taking
That's how you get all your
so.
energy, Katie, I think.
I don't know. I've always been a huge napper.
You know, I was
Always.
reading about the Super Bowl,
yeah.
not Super Bowl, Super Bowl players, and they, Kelsey from Kansas City, I think that's Travis,
Okay.
talked about napping and how important it is for
Really?
their performance.
Yeah.
And yes,
Can you
even
imagine
short
if
naps.
I was here without naps?
No, I can't.
No, exactly. But
So.
yeah, so I hope I also inspired you to do whatever scrapbook that you want to do or would like
Well,
to do.
you've done
or the
lots of
4x4.
sizes. You got 12 by
I
12,
do.
4 by 4, 6 by 8.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of different ones. And Katie, I take it this is you running
Oh,
here?
yes, I'm sorry. We are a huge track family too, and that is when I would run track in high school
I didn't
on
know
the
you were a
Cedar
runner.
track. Yeah, I ran sprints. Jason ran cross country. Jack's a sprinter. Sam was a thrower more then. But yeah, we're football and track. Love track.
Well,
So,
Katie, thank you so
well,
much.
I know I ran a little bit long,
No,
but
this was enjoyable.
I hope
We
people
really-
enjoyed it.
I think everyone enjoyed it. It was very fun.
Yeah, but I hope it
Just when
inspired
you think you
too.
know everything about Katie,
Oh, there's so much more you don't.
There's more, and there's probably even more.
Oh, there is.
There's probably even more that we don't know about yet.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
So
Part
Katie,
2 will be tomorrow. No, I'm joking.
so thank you so
Gloria's
much.
tomorrow.
Oh, Gloria, I was going to
Yes,
ask you what
Gloria's
is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the Meet the
Yeah.
Staff tomorrow is Gloria, and
Yeah.
she'll be here, and we'll learn more about her.
Yeah.
And then I just want to remind everybody about the Sizzix sale, that 30% off the select Sizzix dies, and that goes through Sunday. So, but I wouldn't wait too long because a lot of them are limited quantities, and they're online. If you go to shopping, you'll see it right at the top of the shopping page. It includes some of the brand new releases, so you can't complain about that.
No,
can
you can't.
Katie?
I'm impressed with that. That's very generous of you, Kelly.
Well,
very
we
generous.
have,
to
it's
put
our
those on.
special. It's our
It
5-day
is.
special. So.
Things we love.
Let's see, when you do 12 by 12 layouts, how do you put them in the 3-ring binder books? Maybe we should just show that real quick.
Just this one?
And
the
Mary
12 by 12?
remembers the cedar track. Yeah, so the 12 by 12 layouts, there's a 12 by 12 pages that go in the 12 by 12 books.
Yeah, and they come in different configurations. So you can see this one has 4 by 6 and these are 3 by 4s. This one is just a page, and sometimes I just slice it, like with my trimmer, how I showed you. So I made the pockets to fit how I wanted them to fit. This is an 8.5 by 11, so don't think that you have to have just one size, because I put all sorts of different sizes in my
Yeah, I
books.
think, and Janet
Yep.
does that too, and it makes it interesting.
Yeah, this is 4 by 6, and I just sliced off because I didn't have more pictures.
But they do have regular 12 by 12 pages.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely.
And the
And I do
rings
have
just
12 by
open. They're
12.
nice because you can move your
Yep.
pages around.
Very easy.
They want to know if you have any brothers or sisters.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even cover that, did I? I have 2 sisters. One lives in Texas, and then she's 10 years older than me, and then we have Megan, and Megan's 4 years older than me, and she lives here in the Des Moines area also. Yep. And then there's
Nice-
me.
It's nice to have at least one sister
Oh
close
yeah,
by, isn't
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yes. So.
Well, Katie,
Yeah.
thanks again.
Well,
thank you
for your
everyone for
time.
watching,
Yes.
and we will be back tomorrow. We'll
All
see
right.
you then, everybody.
Thank you.